Fake, 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 liars, liars, fake. CNN is fake news. CNN is fake news. Lie, 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 all day lie. NBC are all liars. CBS are all liars. Go ahead and turn it off. Don't hesitate, because it's all lies, my dear. It's totally fake. They won't report the news. It's all stuff they create, because Jake is fake. He is totally fake. Fake, 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 fake.
Check out what CNN did to Hillary Clinton's clip, because they accused Donald Trump of calling it a bomb before all the facts were out. But check out what Hillary Clinton said, and check out what CNN aired. Go ahead and roll it.
I've been briefed about the bombings in New York and New Jersey. I've been briefed about the bombings in New York and New Jersey and the attack in Minnesota. Obviously, we need to do everything we can to support our first responders.
Just before I got off the plane, a bomb went off in New York, and nobody knows exactly what's going on. But boy, we are living in a time. We better get very tough, folks. We better get very, very tough.
Obviously, we need to do everything we can to support our first responders, also to pray for the victims. We have to let this investigation unfold. We've been in touch with various officials, including the mayor's office in New York, to learn what they are discovering as they conduct this investigation. And I'll have more to say about it when we actually know some facts.
Secretary, do you have any reaction to the fact that Donald Trump immediately upon taking the stage tonight called the explosion in New York a bomb and pulled that to the ground?
Well, I think it's important to know the facts about any incident like this. That's why it's critical to support the first responders, the investigators who are looking into it, trying to determine what did happen.
Okay, so you're able to see that. Now, you kind of see what I'm saying here, right? Hillary Clinton also said that it was a bomb, but CNN selectively edited that part out.
You know, in Israel, they profile. They've done an unbelievable job, as good as you can do.
Sure.
But Israel has done an unbelievable job, and they'll profile. They profile. They see somebody that's suspicious, they will profile. They will take that person in. They'll check out.
Okay, so you heard him say profile, but he didn't say racial profile. And yet you take a look at some of the lines from CNN. Trump defends racial profiling in wake of bombs. Notice that's in quotations. And as you can see right there, he never said racial profiling. So CNN is getting called out on it. Remember, it was just a couple of days ago, CNN did some editing, creative editing with Hillary Clinton, who said bombs in New York and New Jersey, but then edited that out to make Donald Trump look bad. What's going on over at CNN?
They won't report the news. It's all stuff they create.
Take precaution.
Union, everyone's missing a point. I want to make a point here. No one's caught it. Back in December, just a couple of days before Christmas, Barack Obama passed the NDAA, National Defense Authorization Act, which legitimized and legalized propaganda by the U.S. government to the U.S. people. So this is obviously now, we're seeing U.S. propaganda. CNN is now obviously an instrument of the U.S. government propaganda. The New York Times and BuzzFeed are now instruments of U.S. government propaganda by law, by the NDAA. Not only does it give them the ability to propagandize inside America, but it also means they can censor other competing news outlets, and it also means they're going to spend a lot of money toward creating new news organizations. And that amounts to a bailout of CNN, ABC, NBC, CBS. Their ratings were going into the toilet. Les Moonves of CBS said, Trump saved us. Without Trump, we would have gone out of business because the news in America is dead.
Fox News is standing by Sean Hannity, period. It will always be that way, one should expect.
The tensions. There are staffers inside Fox that aren't happy with Hannity, that feel this was embarrassing for Fox, that feel this should have been disclosed. They're not comfortable having to work with him as a colleague. So
did you catch this headline this morning? Here it is. Donald Trump and Sean Hannity like to talk before bedtime. Makes you want to read the article, right? Well, it's a new piece by Olivia Nunzi in the New York Magazine, and it outlines Fox News, the Fox News host's pretty incredible relationship with the president, friendship. We know how much of an advisor is he to the president. Daily calls that are sometimes a major headache, she reports, in the West Wing. Brian Stelter, our senior media correspondent and host of Reliable Sources, is here for more. The headline makes you want to read it, and then when you read it, there are some really stunning parts. One thing that struck me near the beginning of the piece is when Olivia writes about Sean Hannity filling a void left by Steve Bannon.
Yeah, it's a really interesting way to think about Hannity's role as an informal White House advisor, someone who's channeling Trump's base or a specific part of Trump's base, frequent phone calls between Trump and Hannity. Usually it's Hannity calling Trump after the show, sometimes the other way around. It really supports the idea that Hannity is an advisor to Trump, and Trump is a producer of Hannity's show. It's a two-way street.
Take precautions.
Brian, this matters. I mean, presidents have friends, and they're allowed to call the White House, and they're allowed to call the White House 4 nights a week if they want. The difference here is that Hannity hosts a show watched by millions of Americans on Fox News.
And doesn't usually talk about his conversations with the best possible source of news about the world.
Finally fighting back, and members of the Trump administration, they're beginning to shine a bright light on these dark corners of this fake news industry. Can call out fake news right at the source. For example, you can tell fake news Jake Tapper exactly what you think of his interview with Anthony Scaramucci. You can do it on Twitter. Or you can message Brian Stelter, Humpty Dumpty, Jeff Zucker's stenographer, about his Russia obsession and lack of desire to be fair and balanced and point out Hillary, Uranium One, and felonies she committed. And, of course, you got Liberal Joe calling the president a schmuck, a goon, a thug, and mentally unhinged. Great job, NBC. And if you don't think those remarks are appropriate, just send them a tweet. And over there, of course, you have Mika helping out the over-the-top, feigning outrage every day. Her disgusting treatment of Kellyanne Conway, very despicable. You want to take it to the next level? Write a message to their bosses. Send a tweet over to Zucker over at Fake News CNN or Andy Lack from NBC Fake News. Right now, the media is living in their little bubble. It is our job to remind them that there's an America way outside of New York, D.C., Los Angeles, and San Francisco. Tonight, technology is now making it possible for you to take your point of view directly to the source and show America's elites that the forgotten men and forgotten women of this country voted for this agenda, and they want it completed, and for them to stop lying to you.
Right?